again, this is my daughter Emily, and today we're going to be talking about a range of cosmetics by Arbonne. Now, Arbonne Cosmetics are available through consultants, or they're also available through the website. So I'll include the website details at the bottom of the post, and I will also be talking about Arbonne on my own blog, so I will have all that information in the description bar down the bottom. Now, this Perfecting Liquid Foundation has an SPF of 15, and it is what I would class as a medium to full coverage foundation. Now, Emily doesn't like to have a heavy foundation, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a small amount on the back of my hand, and then in order to sort of dilute it a little bit, I'm going to get her Nivea moisturiser here and just put a little bit of the moisturiser in there just to sort of make it so it's not quite so full coverage. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply this on Emily's skin with a damp sponge so that we don't get a really full coverage. I'm really enjoying this foundation myself. I don't dilute it, I actually like the fuller coverage. I think it blends very, very well, and I've got it in the colour Buff, I think. This is what we're using today, and I find it to be a very, very nice colour for me. This is probably a tad dark for Emily, so this is also another reason why I've sort of diluted a bit with the moisturiser. Okay, so the foundation has gone on really beautifully on Emily's skin by actually diluting it a little bit with the moisturiser. It's given her quite a sheer look on her face. Now, I also forgot to mention I'm wearing exactly what I'm going to be putting on Emily. However, I sort of amped my eyes up a little bit. We're sort of going for a pretty and pink sort of look. Just look up a little bit. I'm just going to put some of this lovely concealer underneath Emily's eyes. She luckily doesn't have the dark circles that I have, but she does have a few. Now, she also has really beautiful skin, so I don't actually have to conceal any blemishes or anything like that, which is good. Sometimes I tend to put a little bit just around my nose because it tends to get a little bit red, but we don't have to worry about that with Emily. So this is a really lovely creamy concealer that I really enjoy using. You can use it with your fingers as well as with a brush. Now, I always put a primer on my eyelids, so I'm using my favourite Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. Now this one here is in the original, so it's a clearish or sort of a skin colour. This is the most amazing eye primer I have used. So what this helps to do is to let the eyeshadow adhere to the eyelids, and it also makes the eyeshadows crease proof and also evens out any of the blueness or redness that you might have on your eyelids. Okay, so now that that's on, we're then going to use this lovely eyeshadow. Now this one here is called Petal. There's quite a big range in their eyeshadows. I really enjoy using this because it's got a very lovely texture to it. It's a powder, however it does have a reasonable colour payoff. Now this is going for a very subtle look on Emily. We're going for a very pretty look, and this Petal colour really looks lovely. Okay, now I've put on the Petal on Emily's eyelids there. It's a very subtle pink, but looks really pretty on her. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to powder her face. This is the sheer pressed powder in Light. Now you can either use the enclosed velour puff, or you can use a powder brush. Now the reason I'm using a powder brush on Emily is because she only needs a very, very light dusting on her face, whereas for me, I tend to press and roll my powder on my face. Now what I'm using here is the Arbonne eyelining pencil. Now I've chosen a really pretty plum colour. and I find that these apply reasonably well. This is a really pretty colour, and it's a bit softer than going for a black, so that's part of the reason why I chose this for sort of a pretty in pink look. The thing that's nice about these is that it has a sharpener in the end there, so that you can get a finer tip when you have worn it down a little bit. So now we're going to be putting the mascara on. This is a triple action mascara, which is designed to actually lengthen and to give you volume. Now what I've found with this particular mascara is that it goes on very lightly, so it's quite easily able to be built up. I find it a reasonably dry formula, to be honest, so I regularly have to put it back into the container to get a little bit more. I guess that's better than having too much. Okay, so now I'm adding a blush called Ballet. This is a really pretty soft pink blush, which is quite buildable. What I've done when I've been doing my eye makeup with this particular look is I've actually used this, because this is a slightly darker pink, I've actually used this in the crease of my eye to add a bit more depth to the pink. And what I did on my eyes today was I actually put a little bit of a grey colour through my socket line to give it a bit more bite. So as you can see, we can easily build this up. Now there's two more products I'm going to use. This one here is a highlighter. So this is a really pretty little illuminator that helps to add a little bit of a sheen to the places that you put it. So I'm putting it just on the top of Emily's cheekbones. I'm going to put just a touch at the top of her eye crease to add a bit of oomph there. You can also add this into the foundation if you wish, to give it a bit more of a glowy finish. That works extremely well when you're wanting to go for that dewy look for at night time. And I also put just a little bit on the Cupid's bow. Last but not least is lipstick. Now this one here is a really pretty colour. This one here is called Rose Petal. Now a hint for you when you are looking on the website, I found choosing the colours a little tricky. So I would recommend that probably speaking to a consultant to find out the exact colour that you're looking for may be the way to go. Now I actually consider this one for me to be a really good nude, and it's sort of what I call my lips but better colour. I find that it actually applies beautifully and lasts quite well. Just pop your lips together. So there you have it. That's our pretty in pink look, both on an almost 20-year-old and somebody in their 40s.